eczema. Goal pa me neck, nah give me eczema. Big baller, got me Benzema. Anyway you see me, you have to see 10 killer.
All right, dude. So right now we're gonna jump inside our holistic health haven segment, and
Triple
of course,
H.
yeah, it's one that we always look forward to here on the Juggle, joined
course.
by David Warner and Akini Thomas of Superb Fitness, and these guys are here to talk to us a little bit about recovery, injury recovery, and just recovery in general. You know, as we would have been intimating, a lot of persons getting back into that routine, slowly but surely, that physical activity routine, and feeling aches and pains, waking up in the morning with a little stiff back, stiff neck maybe, you know, and some sore muscles.
Picture how you're going and feel, Jesse. When you go and take
I start my thing, you know.
Huh?
Yeah, I start
a
a
hard
little.
five-a-side in Nelson Mandela's voice.
I
And how you go feel after, Jerry?
man,
because
I start my
serious boy, so it's only me, boy?
Yeah, I get in a little sweat there last week, and I think I really missed it. I enjoyed it. But as mentioned, you know, you're feeling a little niggle. So here are David and Akini to give us their tips, pro tips at that, on how to deal with these things. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome once again to the Juggle.
Evening, gentlemen.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon, sis.
No feedback this time around. So we got to
Slight feedback
All right, well, we're
on my end. But
we're gonna get right into things in this discussion. You know, guys. First of all, would you recommend a hard and fast return to physical activity at this point? And if yes or no, how do you manage what we are speaking about? Those niggles, those little strains, muscle strains, cramps, aches, pains.
definitely we have to start slow. Always start slow when you're getting back into that sort of fitness. All right, you have to excuse me. I'm just getting a little bit of feedback, but I think we could work with it, right?
All right, you go right
You'll
ahead.
hear me clear?
You go right ahead.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
remain
you go.
silent. You go through.
All right, so basically soreness is the breaking down of your muscle fibers. The purpose of that is to build it back stronger. Hence the reason every time you go on a football field or you work out, lifting weights, doing any type of exercises, you'll see slight improvements over a period of time. And that's because the muscles constantly break down and build back stronger. One of the ways, I wouldn't say it's to treat it, but one of the ways, some ways in which to aid in the recovery process, we will always have the normal Trini way, which is just let it run its course. We drink a beer after we go, we sleep, we come back,
We go run it up.
and we go again. But there are some ways that we can actually aid with it. One of the ways, it's like to incorporate protein and glutamine into your diet. Those things actually act as a recovery aid, all right, to repair and recover the muscles. We're looking at ice baths, just ice in the area that tends to help with the inflammation that is built up throughout that process. Stretching as well helps. I'd always recommend though with stretching, you warm the area. So again, the reason why we warm up before we work out or we compete is to actually have the muscles loose and mobile and ready to go.
Very, very, very informative. And I know Stefano was wanting to get in on this, but a couple times, as you mentioned, running it off, Stefano, you would have felt a pain, you would have felt a sharp pain, and told yourself, well, I'll just give it a 2 days and come back again. How do you tell the difference between, you know, what pain you might be feeling? Can you do a self-test, a self-diagnosis to know the difference between an injury, a possible injury, and maybe just run up the mill soreness? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would take this one. In terms of telling the difference in terms of which is a injury and which is a soreness. In Stefano's case, what you would do is you would check firstly to see if you're getting the pain or the discomfort in both legs or in both arms, whatever the sport may be that you're doing. In this case, we're talking football. So if you're having the soreness in both hamstrings, then more than likely it's from the sweat that you went to have, or the or the game that you played previously. More than likely, if you're getting it in one leg in one specific area, and it's that constant niggle or that constant pain on that spot, more than likely you're dealing with an injury. The injury could range from very simple to very severe, and sometimes it could start simple and using the Tritney way, which is just letting it run its course, thinking it's going to go, and then jumping back onto the field is going to cause bigger problems in the future. So sometimes you see, we're talking soccer warriors here, if you see them, run on, and sometimes they have injuries, and you see they sometimes spray with a cold spray, or they use something hot on the area. Yeah. That would be a temporary fix. That at that point you'll get that niggle, you'll get that discomfort, and at that point you would know if you could continue or not. If it is you do continue, then after you definitely will have to check it out, using different methods, such as the RICE method. We call it RICE in the fitness industry. It's simply
like dipping your phone in rice like that.
No, I'll get into what it is now. So it's basically resting, icing, compressing the area, and elevating it. Now, the resting is basically, sometimes it may be, resting may mean coming off the field of play. Icing, where you would wrap the ice to the area, which is compressing it, and elevate that leg. All right? So you want to get that done immediately. That would be one of the procedures that we would use in the fitness industry, and you would also see it in some of the football games around the world. You would see it. So definitely you want to test it. You want to check to see if you're getting it on one leg rather than both legs, or if you're getting it on that one leg in one specific area. More than likely that would be an injury.
You mentioned the spray boy, and I remember that was a kind of ranking thing. When sometimes you're injured, sometimes you just get a little mash to Once that spray come out, and they spray you down. It was more of a never see come see kind of attitude to it. You just want to get. Sometimes you're using out all the spray.
All the spray.
Yeah. The physio gone, and for the time you turn it back, you pull out the spray and you spray.
Just spraying.
And next thing you know, when I'm really injured.
Pressure.
Pretty done. But it's interesting, you guys, something you just mentioned though, Akini, the immediate part. Because as a man, when I take my sweat, and as David made mention of earlier, I take my sweat, I stick around after I socialize, feeling a pain, Might be the groin, might be the hamstring, might be the lower back. And I tell myself, boy, forget about that for now because I'm socializing.
Yeah, be drinking.
A little Jack Daniels, for instance. And then I deal with whatever pain when I get home. Sometimes not even immediately. Sometimes the next morning. How important is it to get to that, to treating that or tending to it as quickly as possible?
It's definitely important to get that rehab process going, and that's not only applying to athletes, but the normal person just playing the amateur football, normal person running around Savannah. All right, the rehabilitation process helps with recovering and getting the muscle or that area back to 100%. What usually happens, you feel that pain, the muscle breaks down, something is wrong at that point. All you're doing is just leaving the injury for another day to play on it again. All right. This is the difference between 1 week, a week and a half recovery to 2 to 3 months recovery. All right. So going back on that field at that point in time, even though you felt it, is not the best choice. The best choice would be to deal with the injury. You'll get a little tabanka, a little football tabanka here and there where you're missing the game. But as I say, it is a major difference between like a week and a half to 2 to 3 months that you're out for. And you definitely don't want to be out for that long of a time. So going through the proper procedures, can you say the RICE method at first. You go home, you complete the process, you do what you need to do, you come back and you start your rehabilitation process. All right?
Now, gentlemen, we on the juggle here.
You all hear me?
Yeah, loud
Yeah.
and clear.
Now, gentlemen,
All right. Nice.
gentlemen, we on the juggle here. Is rabs, is banter. Most of we fans, most of we listeners, is sweaters. Now I had to be honest with all here. Always be brethrens, but always scaring me. I's a sweater. You understand? It's not the fittest going around. I want to ask Oli a straight question, and I want Oli to give my sweaters straight answer. You understand? If I go in and sweat, and I feel a little small thing in my thighs, or I feel a little small thing in my hammy, all you're telling me, don't sweat?
No, well, we're not saying don't sweat. I mean, you're going out there as Stefano. You're not really going out there as
Cristiano.
As CR7.
As Cristiano, no. Stefano, not Cristiano.
No, but it's CR7 in my mind, so I go try thing.
Yeah, well, right. So, and what you have to take into consideration is serious warm-up. A lot of sweaters, the 5-a-side that Jesse was talking about just now, you see them going out there and they're doing some leg swings because they see Christy doing that. Now, there's a lot that has happened before you see international footballers doing that warm-up. They do a lot of things to make sure those muscles warm before they go out on the field and play. Because that's money, that's their job.
Yeah.
Your job is here. So you will just do 2-3 so you may just do 2 or 3 leg swings that because you say, well, I see Christy doing this. So if I'm doing this, I could hit a bullet like Christy.
Right.
But that's not the case. So if you're feeling that nigga, it means your muscles not warm enough. So you need to get into a serious warm-up regime to make sure those muscles warm enough to take the pressure that you're going to put it under because it's just a 5-a-side.
Don't say that. Don't say it's just
not-
a
yeah,
not
yeah.
just a
You're on the
5-a-side.
juggle, no,
I
yeah, they
understand
careful
where
when
you're
they
coming
say
from,
them
but it's
thing,
not just a 5-a-side. But I think, right? No, let me not say I think. My personal experience has been. So, for instance, I told you guys that I took a little sweat this week, right? I download an app and and they put me through a thing. You could design it how you want, and I decided I go in with a warm up and a stretch, right, before I get into the actual hit workout, right? And the warm up and the stretch partner was enough for me. When I done, my tongue out, my hands on my knees, and I was good. I canceled the remainder of the workout. And when I think back at it, even when I used to play football at school, the workout is what used to really make me bond.
that
and I didn't want to
machine,
give my best in the workout, and then when it's time to scrimmage or time to train, I cannot make. So I used to skiff on the warm-up. Is skiffing a good practice, guys?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely, as again, your muscles have to be warm. Your muscles have to be warm in order to create that mobility. You want to run faster. You want to stop and move at angles. Those things. For you to do those things, best thing to do is have warm muscles, fully warm muscles. All right. What that tells me, Jassy, is that your fitness level is not where it should be.
Well, this is no secret.
You probably might, so you probably might need to hit a little bit more savannas, get a little bit, a little bit more fitness in. So because if you warm up bothering you, then that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
It's bothering me.
Yeah, definitely.
One man.
yeah. It'll burn your chest. All right, so that tells you that your fitness level is a little bit under par. So you need to get up on that a little bit more.
That's such a diplomatic way to put it. A little bit under par. It comes like a Mr. Eve, like it's a whole transformation. It's a whole transformation in the diplomacy today from Mr. Eve to under par.
Yeah,
but guys, I mean, this has certainly been information that I could take a hold of, and I hope you, the listeners, have picked up some information as well. If not, it will be posted on our YouTube pages in short order, so you can go and check out the Juggle on YouTube. And of course, you will get these segments in bite-sized pieces on our Instagram and on our Facebook. I want to say thank you to the guys from Superb Fitness.
But Jassy, before those guys go.
Before they go.
Guys, Superb. How can our loyal audience reach out to y'all? They may want to send y'all a little DM or something, you know, on social media or something to get some information about rest and recovery. So give us your social media handles, how people can reach out to you.
Akini?
Yeah, so they can reach us on at Superb Health and Fitness on Instagram and Facebook. If they have any inquiries on anything, if it's serious, we may have footballers listening and you all really want to get in contact with somebody serious to deal with your injuries or your discomforts, you can email us at superbhealthandfitness at gmail.com. So reach out to us if you're all interested in getting any further information or something that we may have touched on today that you are currently experiencing. Hit us up, let us know.
Right.
Excellent.
Thank you very much once again, Akini and David, for some really
great stuff.
I must say, it is information that I see working for me in future. I'm gonna work on get my fitness up to or above par. David, that one's for you.
All right.
And I'll let you guys know for sure if I'm experiencing some difficulties. I know how to get one for you guys. So guys, once again,
Definitely.
it is the Juggle. Thanks again to Superb Fitness for joining in our holistic health haven segment. All right, so let's talk Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, 100% real Tennessee whiskey made with 100% of the best ingredients. Introducing our latest initiative, or innovation rather, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Apple. Enjoy the bold, refreshing taste of crisp green apple that's exceptionally smooth, 100% smooth, 100% authentic, 100% Jack Daniel's, and it is available nationwide. Drink Jack responsibly. That's it for the Juggle, ladies and gentlemen. See you again next week, Monday.
Big baller, got my Benzema. Whole pa me neck, nah give me eczema. Big baller, got my Benzema. Anyway you see me, you a fi see 10 killer.